Today, Precarious plays
Endless Legend. Bats. Bats? We're just doing bat things, right?
No, good things with bats.
Yeah, that's the same thing. We were just going batty. Haven't you seen famous film Fern Gully?
Oh, that's one of my favorite animated films. It's so perfect and juicy looking. And Batty is pretty hilarious. It's been a long time since I've watched it, though. Ooh, I hope it's not, actually bad. I don't know. I think that the visuals are just so worth it.
I'm pretty sure that the overall message of the film probably redeems anything that might... what could be bad?
I mean, it might be a little bit sexist.
Probably. And Batty, I think, might speak too frankly in a possibly negative way about mental illness, but he's also one of the big heroes of the film.
We'll call it a mixed bag.
I'd have to watch it again, but I have a suspicion that it's probably more help than harm.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
The point is, nature is a part of you and you are a part of nature. That's the point.
Yeah, and it's maybe be on the lookout for corporate interests that are trying to exploit you.
By releasing, horrifying spirits that have been sealed in the world tree in that particular patch of forest. No, I think that the magical aspects of it are just really great. Oh, and all the animation for, the sludge. Mm-hmm. What is that villain's name? I think it's X or Hexus, or it's just the
Oil X.
Oil X. No, it's not Oil X. We just talked about this. You tricked me. But yeah, it's so good. It's so juicy and glorpy and slightly I don't know. It's almost sensual.
Oh, I was afraid you were gonna go there.
I've been gross still, though. It's
I've been thinking of a term that I'm still not gonna say aloud, but yeah, I was it's weirdly erotic.
Yeah, it's nasty.
And it's stop, ooze.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. But then all of the flying on the bugs situations and the hopping around in the forest and the dance party and when the interior of the tree lights up, and there are so many things that from that movie that I saw it when I was too little to know how to draw. Mm-hmm. This was before I had any kind of skill in representing what I wanted to represent. But this started me on my fairy drawing kick for sure. It was just all really bad. So I don't have any of it saved. But those feelings of being tiny in a huge place that is absolutely wondrous and, slightly magical. Mm-hmm. But most of the magic is really not magic. It's just plants and stuff growing, doing their regular thing. Mm-hmm. I just loved it. I loved it. I still love it. I should probably watch it again so that I can ruin it. But so that I can pull from the visuals more. That's one of my favorite movies. I haven't thought about it for a while because nobody talks about it as much. It's probably because it's probably okay. Usually people only talk about things when it's problematic.
Ooh, I love this illustration. It's very...
Yeah.
Striking, although I don't 100% know if I agree with the perspective on the horns.
Oh, but
this one feels like it's coming up short.
What's happening?
Oh, they're just a minor faction. We could just be friends with them.
Well, I mean, we are friends with, spiky worm-mouth Hydra people.
Acquaintances. We are acquaintances with the spiky worm-mouth Hydra people. Thank you.
Well, anyway. Look, we don't judge our allies by the exterior of their leathery hides, but by the interior of their character and willingness to work with us.
By the interior of their leathery hearts.
Yeah, their dark, blackened hearts. So
Video games, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry that I got off on such a strong Fern Gully tangent.
No, it is.
I just love it, and you reminded me.
Damn it, guys! Would you leave? Nah, maybe that's the same one. Is that the same one that got busted before, or
I think
did they destroy this one too?
I don't know, but who are the orange people?
The Mazzari.
Those miserable assholes are just encroaching on our stuff. You need to run down and put a city somewhere.
I'm working on it. Oh yeah, okay, new research era. So keep this in mind. I know that a lot is going on, but try to keep this visual in mind. This is an impression of what passing to the second era is like. Keep that in mind 3 or 4 eras from now.
Okay.
So by moving to a new era, new baseline weapons and armor are available. Newly trained units cost more, but come in at a higher level of power. Now we can make watchtowers. We can go to a new level for the Empire plan in every one of the cardinal directions. And legendary deeds for this era are available. I think. Did we get one last time? Or
legendary deeds?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We didn't get one. Okay, so along the side of each research track, we did get one. Okay, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that was because of my bullying.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, one luxury resource. Got it. Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. So the way it works is that there are 3. I think they might be randomly rolled per game. The ones up here.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't hold me to that. But
okay.
The way it works is that there are 3 legendary deeds, one of which I think is always a legendary building, for each research era, and they can only be achieved 1 time per game. And then that individual, whoever completes it, gets a pretty powerful effect, and it's locked off from everybody else. On the one hand, because I only like it because I play against the AI. And it kind of helps keep me in check whenever I'm playing on. Yeah, that's one thing that I'd like to point out to you and anybody else that cares. I made a mistake. I checked some of my older save files.
Yeah.
And I usually, what I think of as the base difficulty for this game is not normal and easy. The bonuses that I'm getting from playing on easy are way too extreme.
So we're playing on baby mode?
Absolutely on baby mode, because so the entire military,
yeah, I
get 25% off upkeep. They have more life. And this is probably, that's actually from fast game speed. So I misread that before. Still, I would say that this right here, you can see that all of that's from playing on easy.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that's getting that benefit. None of the AI, they're not getting that. If I wanted to, I could probably keep them from ever completing any legendary deeds. Just if I wanted to. And I will say that if I were playing this in a more competitive way against people, I would hate the legendary deeds. The legendary deeds, because it just exacerbates? Yeah. That's the word, right?
It is.
I don't know, even before it...
Is it the right one?
Even before it made it out of my mouth, I was like, is that a word?
English is fun.
It's a classic example of make it, take it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, you win and then you win harder. Yeah. Which, I guess, I don't know. It seems like I suppose it's a valid design decision.
I think so. I'm going to argue that it is.
What I was going to say is that I think that people think of it as a valid design decision because the idea is, well, if they're going to win anyway, just let them win faster.
Yeah.
So then you can just start a new game and maybe get matched with someone that's not going to mush you into a uniform paste.
I don't know if that's the whole story in my mind, because to me it just seems like not an expeditious thing. It seems like everything you want to do in the early stages of setting up your, well, okay, I'm speaking from playing a different game, but everything you do in the early stages of your civilization will dictate what you are able to do later on.
Yeah.
And so the early game is really important. And I think that having those deeds doesn't seem to me to be any different than just introducing one more thing that you can get right early and then not have to fight against later. You know? Maybe it's too of an extreme of a bonus,
well,
though.
Here's the thing. If you could achieve a limited number of deeds per player, because I think that you're making like sort of like a specialization argument, if I understood you correctly. I'll freely admit that I was dividing my attention between listening to you and reading the thing.
Yeah.
So I may have misunderstood.
No, I was making a specialization argument. You like kind of, you decide what you're going to invest your time in order to make the rest of the game go a certain way.
But the problem with that is that it is very possible for someone, maybe not for the first ones whenever you're playing against other people, but I could see even just as soon as here, someone could break away and then sweep all three of these.
Yeah.
And then that would just compound their ability to come in here and get a bunch of these and then sweep those three and so on, you know?
Yeah.
But if it was a situation where, if, for example, me constructing that legendary building in the first era disqualified me from ever achieving either of these.
Yeah, that does seem a little bit more fair.
Yeah, but it's not, that's why it's not a mechanic about being fair. It's just a mechanic about winner's gonna win.
Yeah.
They just want to let people who are ahead get further ahead, probably because I think that the idea is that if somebody pulls ahead that strongly, do they have a settler in there? They do not.
Okay.
But if somebody is already ahead, then they should stay there. They should. They deserve to win, basically.
So we're gonna get a settler in 2 turns?
I thought I was gonna get a settler in 2 turns. I'm gonna see if I can do it in 1. No. Huh. I thought that I did the math on that. Maybe it was always 3, or maybe I didn't actually change the turn yet, and I just wasn't paying enough attention.
I'm just like looking at, what is that? What is the name of that region? Go back down. Gadanak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get into Gadanak.
Oh,
okay.
thanks, game.
Yeah.
So now we have access to all of the tier 2 technologies.
Yay, more circles.
I'm still gonna ignore boats for a bit.
Boats. Sorry. Boy, my brain is going all over the place today.
What? Why did you just boats me?
Because you were like, I'm gonna ignore boats, and it just triggered boats.
Boats is a thing, but I don't remember what it's
I think it was from How I Met Your Mother, and it was the captain's girlfriend who would help him sell boats. She was in the commercials, and she was scantily clad and said, boats.
I remember that being a local meme. I do not remember
it being a part of a hymnium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. How I Met Your Mother is something that I watched a long time ago, and I was pretty disappointed by the ending, so I've never gone back to it.
I felt the same way.
It was I really didn't like the
I was
ending.
watching it for Willow, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, I was too. Okay, so I did enjoy watching it.
What's that? I can see Allison Hannigan again, every week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, I was also there for that. But there are some shows that I go back and rewatch, and this is not one of them.
I could go for this and try to make peace with the Mazzari. Which at the very, you know what? Maybe I should do a double whammy and queue up both of these. Is there anything that I would need instead?
Piece them so
Ooh.
hard.
That one is really useful, so maybe that would be a good third spot.
No, look, if we make peace, like super peace with the Mazzari,
Yeah.
like that's half of our opponents.
Are there only 3?
You said.
Okay, so
Look at the logos. There's the ours, which is red.
That's true, and then the one we haven't found.
We made this map like way simple, fast, easy because we didn't want to play this for 6 years.
Mhm.
So there's only 2, and if you can make peace with them, you're halfway to winning.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Glory of Empire first because it will let me generate more influence, which is what powers diplomacy anyway.
Yes.
And then while that's
Good.
ticking up, I will get the one that will
Piece
actually piece them to death.
I'm in kind of a sour mood, but I am still clear on my goals. We're gonna piece them right off. We're gonna piece all over them. Don't die, please.
It's trying to kill me.
I'm not
Trying to piece me to death. Trying to chop me to pieces.
Yeah.